calling Orson. Come in, Orson. No. Hey, that'll make sense in a minute. Well, it will. I promise. It might not be funny, but it will make sense. Here we are then. It's podcast time. Welcome to the Champ We Are United podcast. And it's episode number, 7? 3, 7, 5, donut, 7. Many episodes. No, seriously, this is episode 3. This is episode 119. I can't believe it either. Didn't think we'd get past one. Right. Let's introduce who's in the studio, not in the studio this evening. And when I do introduce you, gentlemen, we'll be asking you also what you're doing today. So be prepared. Here we go then. Who's first? I know who's first. It's only mute button Matt Richards. Hello, Matt.
Hello, Gull. How you doing? Good to be here. Oh, good. That's nice to hear. And hello, listeners, viewers, everybody. What am I doing today? I am doing the social media feedback. Melby's Musings, very shortly. Back to you, Gull.
I haven't asked you yet. I haven't asked you yet, but thank you.
Well, you said earlier to say what when you introduced you.
I think he meant what have you been doing today before the podcast.
So I played a bit of tennis. Got Christmas decorations down. Do people really want to know this?
No.
It's just nice.
Christmas decorations down.
Yeah,
down from the loft.
From the loft, yeah. There you go.
You meant you taking him
Golden
down.
We are on a record for the longest pod ever, folks.
Right, I'll rein myself in now. That's always good to hear, Mutes. Moving on after that. Oh, look. It's only Neil Bygone Bygone. Hello, mate.
Hiya. You all right?
Hiya.
Yeah, well, I've had a very productive day. I've been to the pictures with the family to watch a wicked film, literally.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. And then I fell asleep on the couch watching a football match, and then that's it, really. And then I've sat here with you guys. And
why did you have your couch in the cinema?
It was a posh cinema as well. You could. And now can I tell them my feature, what I'm doing tonight? Is that all right?
Yeah.
I'm going to be just giving a quick overview of introduction to the Roy of The Rovers Winter Specials that they released in the late 80s. So I'm moving away from the warm climes of summer specials now to the winter warmers of winter specials. So I'm going to be featuring the first one today.
Oh, you are a legend, my friend. Oh, lovely. And also, we have the man that they call Golden Ian. Hello, Ian.
All right, girl, how's it going? All right.
All right, girl, how's it going? Right.
Oh, God.
All good. Yeah, I'm all good here. This weekend I've been to Hull and back. That isn't Hell and back, but it is Hull and back. But yeah, it's been quite an eventful one. Tonight, Gull, I'm going to be presenting the 1980 to 81 season of Roy of the Rovers comic.
Oh, fantastic. All of your sections are absolutely brilliant and very well.
I do, yeah.
Well, I meant everyone, not just you, but and then thank you very much there, Ian. Finally, we will be going along to the man that's got so many nicknames. If I start telling you them now, we'll be into episode 125. It's only Paul, the Tangential One Richardson.
Cheers, Gull. Thanks very much. Good to be on board as always, and looking forward to another action-packed pod. What was it? 119? Did you say?
119.
And I shall be continuing the United promotion chase. More drama to follow.
Oh,
I'll tell you what. For regular watchers on YouTube, you've just got to watch how many times he bounces up and down on his seat. Oh, it's a joy to behold. Are you well, Paul?
I'm very well, thank you, Gull. Very well, yes. And there'll be a lot of bouncing to come, I can assure you of that.
Oh, I say. So, finally, I am your host. It's been a while since I've hosted, isn't it?
Yeah.
I am your host, Gull, also known as the Podfather, and you are very welcome to enjoy our podcast, all of our regular listeners, and any new ones as well. Right, shall we start?
Why not?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with mute button Matt Richards with the social media feedback. It's the social media feedback.
Okay. Loving the theme tune. Okay, right. So the last episode was 118. 118. And that was a fantastic one with friend of the show, Pete Nash.
Friend of the show.
Hope all the listeners and viewers enjoyed that one. We thoroughly enjoyed having Pete on again.
Yeah.
Great feedback for that. So first of all, we'll start off for the Roy of the Rovers Facebook page. We have Terry Angus, friend of the show. Hi, Terry.
Yes.
Obviously a massive striker fan. He said, I think the word fascinating was used during the pod, but it certainly was fascinating listening to the possibilities of AI. Good to hear that lapsed striker fans are returning. Well done, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, and obviously subsequent to the show, we found out that Pete hit his 500 minimum subscribers. So so new striker content is on its way very soon. In the
Great
new year.
news.
So fantastic. Yeah, so pleased for Pete. Excellent. Phil Cole, hi Phil, said a really interesting listen. I guess going forward, my concern with AI will be if a publisher can effectively mimic the style of a freelancer, brackets dead or alive, and they or their estate receive no recompense. Sadly, the history of comics is littered with horror stories of creators being mistreated, so it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, it's a controversial, the use of AI, but yeah, good point, Phil. And we have from the Melster himself, Goal, do we have the Melster's theme tune or a theme tune?
Hang on, I'll ask him.
Tee it up.
Do we have the? Of course we do.
Aye.
Whoa! It's Melvin's musings.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Brilliant. It's great to have it back live
Yes.
and unleashed. Okay, so the Melster goes. It's Football Comics 118, but not as we know it. Episode 118 of the Champ We Are United podcast went to infinity and beyond. The brave new world of Simon Secret and even Project 917.
Yes.
The pod's special guest, Pete Nash, who changed the face of UK football comics when he sensationally transferred from a traditionally drawn striker picture story to 3D computer-generated strip, revealed that he's moved with the times yet again. Yes, call the Cyclops. Very good.
See what he's done there?
Happy Mondays. Yep, step on. Very good. Carl the Cups. Warbury Warriors brand of sexy football is back and more photo real than ever before thanks to the advent of AI. Over an enthralling 90 minutes plus added time, the comeback king blew the minds of the Galacticos from Champ Towers as he explained that with the help of artificial intelligence, Nick Jarvis and Eric Oppenshaw et al. Are on the cusp of one last dance and one giant leap for football comic book fans. Brilliant, Trevor. At times, this pod classico was real School of Science stuff and cue Mr. Spock impersonation, ideological. Go, you do it properly.
It's illogical, Captain.
Okay. Nashi exclusively divulges that he's bonded with his chatbot to such an extent he's now his chatbot. No, chatbot, not Shazbot.
Sorry.
She could be Shaz. It's Astra. I don't know. She's female. Shazbot to such an extent he's now on first name terms with her.
Yes.
Maybe we can get some AI presenters. That'd be good.
Let's not. We'll all be gone within it. We'll all be gone within a pod.
We could be. Who knows? Who would know?
Don't say that. Dot's face has just gone ashen.
I think Dot will be okay. He's the only one that can put the kettle on.
The striker supremo is coaching Astra, his chatbot, the Warbury way, so she can become his number 2 and collaborate on storylines as well as advise on striker world policy at boardroom level. As the full-time whistle blew, Pete's AI revelations had clearly left the Tangential One, Mute Button Matt, Bygone Berrigan, and even the pod's resident Whovian, Goldenian, in serious need of an ice bath followed by a rub down with a copy of The New Scientist. Ooh, I say. Thank you. I shouldn't be doing the impression. I should be handing over to you, Gold. Muddy Mildred uses, I'm not sure there's ever been a football comic comeback as dramatic or as technologically advanced as this since Nick Jarvis returned to the Warbury Warriors lineup 10 years after having had his leg bitten off in a shark attack.
Yes, indeed.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did indeed. He came back for the promotion run-in for Warbury Warriors and ended up playing in the playoffs as well. Yeah.
With one leg?
No. Well, because unlike Roy, his leg was preserved in ice and actually sewn back onto him.
Oh, okay. So realistic, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the problem
I'll tell you what, we can circle back to that actually.
The problem was
sounds more like something out of Billy the Fish, to be honest.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Well, it's actually based on a true story, so.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
But unfortunately, they sewed it on the wrong way round.
It was brilliant at back hills, though.
Oh, I'll tell you. Whether he was coming or going.
Trevor finishes, the latest episode certainly got my number, lads. Live long and prosper. Nanu. Oh, Nanu. So now, okay.
Wow.
So you hadn't gone crazy. Well, not as crazy as you normally are. Brilliant stuff. And Trevor finishes, P.S. Warbury Warriors season tickets are on sale now. Muses, yeah, absolutely. Yes, so he was pushing the subscriptions. And indeed, if there's any listeners or viewers out there who haven't subscribed, then please do. And if you don't want the digital content, you can just get the book at the end of the year as well.
I was just going to say, yeah, you've kind of mentioned it, but please go onto the Striker World Facebook group and the Planet Striker website. There have been new subscription rates.
Models,
and some of those are for the book only now. And Pete has confirmed he will produce a book at the end of it. So,
yeah, so brilliant stuff. Thank you. Okay, moving on to carry on with the feedback from the chat. We Are United and Football Picture Story monthly Facebook site. We have House of Lord, view from the House of Lord. Do we have a theme tune? Go, Podfather.
Everybody in the House of Lord. Everybody in the House of Lord. One house, one Lord. Everybody in the House of Lord.
Brilliant. So the House of Lord says, I'm not really into Striker.
Everybody in the House of Lord.
Sorry. Yeah. Oh no. He does also say he finally listened to this today, and it's a really good podcast as always.
Yes,
brilliant. So I'm glad you enjoyed it, Adrian. Richard Woods, friend of the show. Has Richard got a theme tune? Goal?
I've been thinking about that for about
6 months,
102 episodes. I'll come up with something. I'm sure I will.
Okay, brilliant. Anyway, Richard says, subscribed, looking forward to this and hope he does well. Did have all the issues of the monthly Striker a few years ago, but managed to trade in for a nice profit. Great to hear from Pete himself and interesting to hear his clear joy of using the AI. Yeah, we all said that, didn't we? You can tell how invigorated he was and enthusiastic he was. George Prince, friend of the show, goal, theme tune, please.
Do you know, I've got a sore throat here. I might not be able to make it through to the end of the podcast. I forgot.
Yes.
Oh, thanks a lot. Do you know what? I'm going on strike now with.
Oh, don't go on strike. Just quit like you normally do.
Yeah, I'll quit, and then I'll just do his theme tune later on randomly for no reason. So listen out for that.
Okay. All right. Brilliant. Okay. So George says, great episode. You did the theme tune I was talking about a couple of episodes ago. Yeah, it's weird because I've only started putting the theme tune on YouTube, so I don't know. I think George, you must have been confused with listening to it on the audio and then watching it on video. Anyway, it's exciting and scary how AI is going. Interesting episode for sure. Yeah, and I think you're right. Exciting, definitely, and potentially scary as well. I think most people agree, George. Thank you. And that's the end of the feedback. That's the end of Melvin's Musings.
Nice.
Back to you, Podfather.
Yeah, hello, it's me, the Podfather again. Right then, thank you very much for that wonderful social media feedback. It's always very much appreciated. Right then, it's time for it's time to move on to the first section of the evening, and it's the wonderful Neil Bygone Berrigan. Over to you, Neil.
All right, thank you very much, Podfather. So this is just going to be a little review of the Roy of the Rovers winter specials. So in the year they would have released the summer special, obviously, which have covered in the pod some of the summer specials, and then they would have released an annual. But for the years 88, 89 and 90, also I believe, they released these lovely winter specials, and I must say I really enjoyed these when they first come out, and I do remember buying them, or my mum getting them for myself. And they're not very big. There's not very many pages in them, but they're better quality. I don't know if any of you guys or any of the listeners own one. The quality of the paper is really, really good, even compared to the comics of the time as well. And there's some specials. The front cover's a hard cover, or semi-hard cover. It's not your normal paper cover.
Before you start, may I make a comment?
Yeah.
Prince talking. His feedback is nothing to be scared of.
I think there's a bit of a delay on the satellite. I think to Torquay.
Melvin's musing comes back. So Bygone, I was just going to say, you said on those covers it was like a fine sort of cardboard, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah, it wasn't like your normal paper.
That's right. Yeah.
Sorry.
I think is that what they call a bookazine these days? Like that.
Probably. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, but
we're not as with it as you, Ian. That's for sure.
I'm going to use that word now.
Exactly.
The Roy of the Rovers Winter Special bookazine. So, as much as I like my summer specials, I really enjoy the winter specials as well. But they were for the price of it. I mean, I think the summer specials at the time were around from something like 80p to £1.20, I thought so. Whereas this is £1.95, so it's a little bit more expensive, probably cheaper than an annual. But I love the colour front cover of Roy with kicking a ball. And if you do actually own a copy, you can stretch it out. And actually, it's where the front cover and the back cover meet.
It's a wraparound, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a wraparound cover. Yeah. So in the first cover, it's got Roy shooting. And in the second one, it's going past the goalkeeper into the net. Which is great artwork as well. And he's playing on a snowy surface as well, which is good to see. Then as you turn the pages, which is disappointing for myself, on the first page that you do come to, it's a big advertisement about stamp collecting. So one of the colour pages is used regarding stamp collecting. Yeah. And then it's got a contents page, which is great because the first thing I do for a contents page, as I always say, is just look to see what stories are around and things like that. And there's not many actually stories. There's only a few stories. We've got a Hamish and Mouse story, Hamish and Mouse. We've got a Roy of the Rovers main story. We've got a goalkeeper story, and then we've got a Billy's Boots story. So they're the main stories. And at the time, I think the comic was going through a period where there was stories coming and going. So they probably knew that these were the main stable stories that were going to stay around. Because I should imagine this was published or created in the early part of the year if it was coming out in the winter. What's interesting in this one is it does have a story or a feature called Story of a Star, which started in 1986 when the Roy of the Rovers was reinvented. And in this one features Mark Lawrenson. And some of the artwork as I go through, you'll see I think it's done by David Skew. It looks like he's coloured over some real pictures. But right at the bottom of this, where it tells you publishing information, it does actually say, unfortunately, Mark Lawrenson was dismissed as manager of Oxford United after the Story of the Star feature was illustrated. So it gives you a little update there.
Do you think it's because? I mean, it almost sounds as if it's because it was illustrated.
No, it's the way you read.
You've got too big for your boots for a second.
Yeah, so who do you think you are?
A Story of a Star. You've only just started managing Oxford. But I don't think he didn't fare that well, really. He was a better presenter and commentator than he was manager, I think, and I'm sure Mark would agree with me on that one. So the first story that features is Hamish and Mouse, and it's a good 6-page story. In the future, I am going to actually do a full review on these winter specials, so I'm just going to give an overview for the people that might not even be aware that these specials did come out, because you don't see them appear that much on second selling sites. And of the three, I only own 2. I've got the 88 and 89. I've not got the 19. I think it was 1990 or 91 edition, and it features Mark Hughes in action on the cover. And I've been having to think about why did he always miss the specials? like for the Football Picture Story Monthly, I got one but not the other. And the only thing I can think of that if they were in the newsagents, they didn't catch my eye because it wasn't an illustrated cover. It seems if it was an illustrated cover, like Football Picture Story Monthly, I bought it. Whereas the non-illustrated ones, I may have just looked over it thinking it was a shoot or a match that I didn't get on a regular basis. So.
And also, as we know, that they all of them had problems with distribution as well.
Yeah.
So it made me the newsagents didn't even stop them.
Yeah, or they may have not sold the 88 and 89 ones well, so they didn't get the third one. Unless I ordered it, and which I didn't do, obviously. But to be honest, I'm trying to think now. Obviously, Ian, you'll be able to tell us this as you go along. I don't know how much they were advertised like big features in the actual comics as well. If it would have been just a half a page, I can't remember them doing long adverts for these either.
These, I think, about half a page is right. Yes.
Not an eye catcher though, is it? You know, that you think.
No. They likes to fit a few ads in at times. So no, I don't think it was ever really a full page. Mind you, I remember that stamp collecting one on the back of an annual once. Would you believe?
Yeah, on a Buster or something like that. It was.
No, on the Roy of the Rovers annual.
Yeah. Oh right,
I remember that.
Okay. Yeah. So the next thing that features, they've got a lot of great A4 page pictures of different items, and the first one we see is there Elton John with some of his Watford players that he would have owned at the time because he was owner of Watford, and he's got him lined up. Then the next picture is Jim Leighton, who was obviously a Manchester United goalkeeper who joined United from Aberdeen. Alex Ferguson brought him across.
Yeah.
And then the next story that features, which is unfortunately in black and white, is a Roy of the Rovers story, but it's not obviously by the main artist. I don't know who that, and I've seen him a few times, and I'm sure he drew the Roy of the Rovers, which featured in the Today newspaper.
Right.
Because I'm sure it's the same one as the Roy of the Rovers #1 collection.
Is that Kim Raymond?
Yeah, look,
Kim Raymond.
Yeah.
That's actually quite. If you're watching on YouTube, that's quite. What's the word? Beginning with J. A jolting? No, that's not the word. But seeing that, it's weird.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I think he's tried to copy the main artist's artwork a little bit as well.
Yes.
Mike White at the time.
But as I say, it's an entertaining story. I think this artist also featured in a couple of Football Picture Story monthlies as well.
Yes, certainly did. That's where I recognise it from.
And this is a lovely story. It's about Andy Styles.
Streaky
Styles. It's a good story. It's about him in his superstitions, which I've got some points to bring up about this when I review as well. It's a nice little storyline, and it's nice that it's not a Roy or a Blackie or a kidnapping storyline, which sometimes featured in specials.
Yeah.
It's actually a match story as well. And then as we come through, it's another couple of some really good colourful pictures. And I should imagine that a lot of people may have used these as posters as well. If you did this thing of cutting things out of magazines, which I never did with Roy of the Rovers. But yeah, it's got the recently crowned FA Cup champions Wimbledon there. God, how time changes, doesn't it? Having Wimbledon as FA Cup winners. And then on the other one, it's got Bargain Brits, and it's Brian Steen and Graham Ricks who are playing here for a French First Division side. I'll totally butcher that, doesn't it? It's
Khan.
Khan, yeah. For insult our French listeners, with my terrible French accent, have come out something like hello. But then in them days, it felt marvellous. You know, like it was out of the ordinary for English players, British players to be playing in foreign teams, didn't it? You know, there was only one or two, and
especially France. So. France is quite unusual, isn't it? I know, like. Cascarino went over, didn't he, a few years later? Waddle. I suppose they had Hoddle.
And Haley.
Actually, I retract.
Mark Haley, Hoddle all played for Monaco. They played for Monaco, didn't they? So
I know nothing about football. I don't know what I talk about.
I'll always want you.
Well, do you know something? Waddle, actually, when he was over there, did also release a record with Basil Bowley as well.
Wow.
Well, I'm not sure what.
Boom, boom. Yeah.
Something like that. It was something like that, actually.
Basil Bowley, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, sounds like some sort of disease.
Oh, right, yeah.
Unfortunately, Basil. We didn't mean that.
Pasta dish.
Yeah, and then just moving on quickly, we've got a couple of pages regarding a Scots corner. It's just highlighting some of the players who played in Scotland. So for some reason, we've got Mark McGee at Celtic, Ian Durant at Rangers, Paul Mason at Aberdeen. And then there's a good tussle between some Queen's Park and East Fife players. in Dundee United team picture. I think it's Dundee United. It says Dundee Royals. That wasn't the name, was it then? It would have been just...
No.
It's weird, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, strange, that, isn't it? Yeah.
Don't know.
And that just continues. There's another couple of pages, and the great action shots.
Yeah, they
I'm
are.
sorry if you're on,
Yeah.
if you're listening, but they are good action shots. And I do remember from the time I used to like drawing, and I do remember copying a lot of these action shots as well. I'll have to try and dig them out and have a look at them to see what if I still think they're really replicas or not.
Send them in.
And then there's another lovely double colour feature as we move along, and it's apt for today, really, because today
we can just
Tottenham and
skip this one. We don't need to see
Arsenal
this story.
played. But this is a pre-season tournament. Arsenal
The
swept
Makita.
Spurs and Bayern
Oh, were
Munich
you?
away
I
at
was
Wembley
at that.
Festival tournament.
Well, so was I, Ian. So was I.
Hey.
Yeah, so it's just it must have been about 3 or 4 games played on the day. I used to like them kind of things.
It was
Yeah.
Saturday. It was over
a
2
Wembley
days.
tournament.
Yeah.
Pardon?
It was over 2 days.
Yeah. But I remember when they had like a tournament for several teams. Do you remember it was like celebrating I don't know if it was 100 years of Wembley or
The 1988. It was
Yeah, I
100th
went to that
centenary,
one
yeah.
as well. I went to a few of those as well.
Yeah.
Football
Imagine
League
doing
against
that
the rest
now.
of the world, and
They would
Asking
never do it
teams
now, would they?
to play that many games over a
Well,
weekend.
you got to remember again, it kind of worked because of the European ban.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
still,
Yeah.
needed
Good
something
shout.
unique, didn't it?
still wouldn't have done it. Yep. And then moving along, we've got a nice goalkeeper story where goalkeeper plays for England under-18s. He gets called up for the England under-18s team and has to play a couple of games over a couple of days, which is a great story, and it actually features Rick's mum as well in the story, which
right.
very rarely features, does she?
Martha.
Martha.
Oh dear.
Yeah. And then following that, we've got a lovely, another good colour picture of Tony Cottee, who was at Everton, big signing for Everton at the time.
Yeah,
It was,
for West Ham.
Yeah, I just
Mm.
Tony
Good
Cottee, I
work,
don't
lad.
think he ever truly lived up to that potential
He didn't.
because he was trying to follow Gary Lineker as well. He was a good goal scorer wherever he went, but I don't think he followed that potential. And then Roy's got a quiz feature in there, which goes over a couple of pages. Several pages, about 8 pages, and then a few more colour pictures with Rangers against Hamilton Academicals, and then we've got a lovely picture. And I think you'll be interested in, Matt.
This
It's
is very
Leaping
famous.
Lions, and it's Millwall goal scorer Tony Cascarino, who we just mentioned, who's been celebrating goals with Ian Dawes after scoring against Aston Villa.
It was the very first game Millwall ever played in the top flight. I was there. It was away to Aston Villa. That's the very first goal we scored in the first division.
Yeah.
So yeah, amazing. We went 2-0 up, and then they came back and it was 2-2. But yeah, very great game.
Yeah. If you ever get a chance, I know I've spoken to you about this. Tony Cascarino's book's fantastic. If anybody wants to give it a read,
I should read it. Yeah.
It's a good book. His autobiography or biography, I think it is. Anyway, then the next thing that we come to is the story of a star with Mark Lawrenson, and I do remember this feature in Roy of the Rovers. In like I say, from I don't think he was the first one. I think the first story of a star was Kenny Dalglish.
Yeah, you're right.
I think it's Kenny Dalglish.
Yeah.
But this was originally in colour, I think, when it was in the comic, but it's in black and white here. But again, I think it's David Skew who drew the pictures for this, and they're really good drawings. And it just details Matt Lawrence's career from beginning when he was a young schoolboy to obviously when he starts to play for like Brighton, as he comes through, then Liverpool, and then obviously it finishes with him getting the manager's job at Oxford, which must have been a little bit short-lived. But yeah, it's a really nice feature, and I always used to like them Story of a Stars, the ones they did, Gary Lineker's and different things like that, because you find out where they started and how they come through.
Yeah, that's interesting. They
placed
that picture at a good level, didn't they, for the readers?
Yeah.
Eventually, it became Gary Lineker's Story of a Star.
It did.
After the merger with Hotshot.
Hot Shot.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, it actually lasted that long. You don't think?
It did. It lasted a good few years, I think.
Because I think this is an abridged version of the story.
Yes.
I think it went on for much longer than this as well, which I really enjoyed them. Then a few more colour pages. A really great deal, a lot of colour pages in this, and it's just a shame that Roy of the Rovers, the main story, was in black and white. But I think that might be more to do with it not being the original artist maybe featuring in the comic at that time. Yeah, it's just John Robertson running through with a ball, and then another. I think the next picture is Derby and Middlesbrough featured there, and then we've got a nice little word search, a nice little spot the differences, which I for some reason did complete, and I've actually it's not pencil either, it's pen. So I'll have to go back and punish my
Well done for
younger self.
completing it. Well done, and
I
thanks
did it.
for
I
showing
did
off
it.
to everybody.
It was
Yeah, you did
I
that.
did.
tough.
I promise you, I didn't look over on the other side for the answers straight away that they're on.
It's only taking you 37 years to do it, but well done.
And do you know what?
I'm really pleased you got that last one this morning, Bygone.
Do you know what I was just going to say? I might just blame my brothers and say they did it if they've done it in bed. Yeah, and then it's got some advert. I just really enjoy it. I've read through the two I've got recently again, and I really enjoy these winter specials. Then it's got some action replays, and it's a few international shots. Liverpool versus Challenge, and I like it because it's not just picking the main teams of the time. You know, like you're getting Heart of Midlothians, you know, Ace FIFA featured. So it's
a
just
fair
across the
spread.
board rather than just your normal Man United, West Ham, Liverpool, Everton teams. And as I say that, I turn over to I've gone past. I'm on the next colour pages.
Okay.
Where it's featuring Liverpool versus Wimbledon in what would have been the FA Cup, because obviously Liverpool won the league and Wimbledon beat them in the FA Cup. And this was the Charity Shield where Liverpool won 2-1, and a great few action shots there.
It was quite a low crowd for that one, I seem to remember.
Was it?
Yeah, it didn't really. I was actually there at Wembley again 2 weeks in a row. I went to Wembley just as because I enjoyed going to Wembley as a 16-year-old.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think it was something like 51,000. It just wasn't a big crowd because
Wimbledon didn't get big crowds anyway. Did
No,
they?
I mean I think for the FA Cup final, a lot of other fans kind of tagged on, didn't they? And but for the Charity Shield, it wasn't the same thing.
Yeah, there's a really good action picture in this one, and it's like a scissor volley from Ian Aldridge scoring there, and it said, which we all like to see, real Roy of the Rovers stuff. The comment there, still lives today, that doesn't it?
What a player John Aldridge was.
Yeah, brilliant. Him and Ian Rush. As a non-Liverpool fan, you know, you appreciated that what great goal scorers they were, and Ian Aldridge was. John Aldridge was fantastic, especially even like for Tranmere, and then for Ireland.
Yeah. I
mean, you'd be unheard of. Imagine a player now going from someone like from Spain straight to to Tranmere, and then doing what he did at Tranmere. It was good. And then finally we've got the last picture story, and it's Billy's Boots, and it's just a typical Billy's Boots story, which I'll feature when I do a full review. It's a great self-contained story, but again, Billy, who's now 36, has been picked for England under 16 team, and they play.
It's funny you made that joke because I reckon old Rick Stewart was about in his 40s as well when he was playing for the England under 18s. So
I know, and
I'll come back to that one and later one.
Yeah.
The ground would play the England under 16s team, and they play at a stadium, and the capacity, they must be playing like it's full capacity stadium, which is great. But yeah, it's a good story, and I'll review that one again. And then as I come towards the end, we've got a nice picture of it says Super Blues, and it's a great Chelsea kit. If anybody could see it, was the Commodore kit, and it looks like it's split into diamonds, white diamonds. And it says two of Chelsea's summer signings, Peter Nicholas and Graham Roberts, are pictured at Stamford Bridge, Division 1. Here they come, so they must have been in Division 2 at the time.
Do you know what makes me smile about that as well? Peter Nicholas, former Arsenal player, and Graham Roberts, former Tottenham player.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, both very good players, aren't
they?
Yeah.
Sorry, again, that is just a horrible kit. I mean, if the photographer had taken the picture and got them to stand behind the goal net, they'll be like looking at a Magic Eye picture.
Do you know?
You could always play drafts on it, couldn't you? If you get bored,
anyway,
you could.
You could play drafts on the shorts. You could play drafts on the shorts as well. I see that. Good looking at that photo.
Very short shorts.
Yeah.
So that's a great picture. And then we finish off, and again, it's another large advert in colour, full colour, for something called a Rocket Ranger, which is a computer game, I should imagine. I've never heard of it. Somebody out there may have played it. I've never heard of it. And just when we talk about how expensive things are nowadays, just want to say this. This Rocket Ranger is available on the Amiga at £25 and Commodore Disk for £15. That's 1988.
You could buy a house for that.
I was just going to say. Two houses. Yeah, and a car. Yeah, so, and then we finish off, the back page is Roy scoring that goal past, I don't want would you say Carford, blue and, was it green? Turquoise.
I wouldn't have said that was Carford.
I'd say Timecaster, maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad shout.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. So that's just me quick. I'm sorry if I've took longer than I should, but I will do a full review on them in over the cold winter nights.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, sir. That was really enjoyable, and looking forward to you reviewing more of that in the future. Bygone. Thanks a lot.
No worries.
Right then, it's time for the second section, and it's Golden Ian. And here we go. Over to you, Ian. Looking forward to this.
Thank you very much. Right, I'm just going to share my screen now, and hopefully that will work within seconds. I think that has worked, hasn't it?
Can I just say before you start?
Yeah.
Is that Melinda behind you?
It is, yes. So it's actually the cover that's on screen now. I kind of replicated behind me because the 1980 to 81, one of the issues, it really was a royal wedding special.
Yeah.
246. Like every other British comic on the market that week was dedicated to the wedding of Charles and Di. And for those who, I'm sure everyone who listens to this remembers that. But to say that was the biggest event of the year in the world is an understatement.
My mum was there. My mum was outside the Buckingham Palace gates with her friend.
Oh, wow.
Is that her just there behind the policeman? I can't.
Well, go back to the main page there, if you would be so kind. If you can. Let's have a look. I don't think he heard me, but yeah, she's there somewhere. I mean, the way you're positioned, it looks like Melinda's going to hit you over the head with a flag.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, well, anyway, this is part 5 of 17 of my reviews. As I say, it's issues 201 to 250. They were released 20th of September 1980, a delayed start to the season because of the strike during the summer, ending on the 29th of August 1981, so pure 50 issues every Monday still. That will change eventually. The price guide, issues 201 to 214 was 14p, issue 215 to 246 was 15p, and issues 247 to 250 was 16p. So 2 price rises in a season, same as the season before that. So back to the royal wedding. Each story dedicated some space to the wedding. News story Daryl's Palace had a bit of a banner. Tommy's Troubles did as well. The St. Victor's side brought out signs of good luck before a match in the Mighty Mouse strip. The Marx brothers mentioned the wedding in the last 2 panels of the story, despite it being the UEFA Cup semi-final.
I was just going to, sorry, Ian, I've got to interrupt there because I didn't mention him, my Marx brother. It's so funny. They're in the plane and they're actually looking down at the royal wedding as they fly back from one of their UEFA Cup matches. I think it was a semi-final, actually.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Which shows that for some reason, I don't know why it was out of tilt with that.
Yeah.
The Safest Hands in Soccer did a 1-panel congratulations message away from the ongoing story, which was still set in 1979. And in the footballer who wouldn't stay dead, Andy Steele reflects on Queen Victoria's Golden Jubilee.
Brilliant.
As we can see on the cover, Roy, Penny and the twins appear to be actual guests and were actually recognised by someone in the royal carriage.
Yes.
Is that Roy Race?
Don't forget to come back later. Anyway, but the pièce de résistance was the hard man, where the entire 2.5 pages that week were dedicated to a story about Victor Boscovich booking a balcony view for the Danefield side. He ends up being con, so they had to find a space to view the ceremony. Someone gets them in their house to watch it on telly. You remember that, Tangent?
Do you know what? I'd forgotten until you said it, and then it came flooding back. Yeah, brilliant. Absolute chaos ensued. Yeah.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah. In issue 210, dated 22nd of November 1980, Roy actually really goes to a warpath in a feature, Let's Stop Soccer Violence. Also, there was a nice 4-part Manchester Giant team poster drawn by excellent David Skew, which is all intact in the issues I own, and it's going to remain intact. That's not going on my wall. Finally, the Christmas Day cover and feature starred Laurie McMenemy. So I'm going to go through my favourites now. I'm going to put Roy of the Rovers for this one. We are getting into Dream Team territory this season, as Roy Race is having problems on and off the field, and it's great drama. Roy breaks an age-old rule and sells 2 of his players to local rivals Melbourne, stalwart Jeff Giles and super sub Roger Dixon. This comeback's to haunt him a few weeks later when Giles scores 2 goals in his side's 2-1 win, their first victory at Manchester Stadium since the war. Roy signed the experienced Nat Grandad Godson, a 35-year-old Lancastrian from Oldfield. I might change that to Northeast because, but there we go. But he may not be from Oldfield, but I think he was a Lancastrian. But anyway, he had a classic Bobby Charlton comb over, and he was Jeff Giles's replacement. He looks like he's had a tough paper round, but he does have 5 kids, one of whom is in Oldfield's youth setup. So Nat and his wife started young up in the Pennines or further north. Charlie Carter's off form, so Roy looks to replace him. And this is where we get a nice little crossover. Andy Watson from The Hard Man and Gordon Stewart from Safest Hands in Soccer are both potential targets. But Victor Boscovich asks too much for Watson, and Stewart has just signed a 2-year contract with Tynefield City. In the end, young reserve keeper Walter Williams was called up.
Can I just say one thing, though? This further debunks that theory that Safest Hands in Soccer was set in the past.
Yeah,
It does.
Sorry, I don't want to cause another discussion.
Although we did retire in 1983 if it was recanned, so you never know. But yes, it is another discussion. I have written about it. It won't be published for some time, but I'll do a bit more about that another time.
Brilliant.
After some emergency Sunday training, Roy finds a note saying, "You seem to think more of Manchester Rovers than you do for your family, Roy Race. I've gone to your mother's. Your dinner's in the oven. Penny."
She made him dinner though. How nice is that?
I know, it's amazing, that, isn't it? Yeah. Roy goes off the rails for a bit after this, turning up unshaven after a rough night. Well, Penny eventually returns, but Manchester are knocked out the European Cup on away goals when she turns up, and then they also go out the FA Cup. The reconciliation between the race couple actually shows a shadow behind a curtain scene. Yes, the comic actually went there, for those readers who understood. For those who didn't, the race couple were still showing talking about football behind those curtains. Rovers needed a 5-0 win to escape relegation back when all the final games of the season were not on the same day. They lead 4-0, but Duncan Mackay missed a penalty, and that was it. Rovers were down. Pre-season then saw an 8-team knockout cup in Scotland between the 7 other English sides who were all promoted and relegated that season. Rovers won this, but there were other problems for Roy. He was making enemies, and you'll have to find out after Christmas exactly.
Oh, Ian, God, that's brilliant. Find out next week.
Yeah, not even next week. It's going to be in the next pod after Christmas at some point for that.
Oh yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay, my next one, number 2 for me, was The Kid from Argentina.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did say last season this story continued to get better, and I could tell this was one of my favourites this season, as after Roy and his soap opera drama, it was the first one I was turning to read. It's such a massive shame it ended in issue 231, and this was explained why in the comic. Basically, it was the reader's least favourite story. How dare you all? And guess with a lineup that strong at this time, a change was needed at least once or twice a year to keep the comic fresh, so one story had to go. So it's the start of the 1980-81 season. Jorge Pobilias turns 17 and is finally offered a legit contract by Manton County 2 years on from their now never mentioned big error that the media still haven't found out about. He's paid 20 quid a week, a fortune in his eyes, and he's given club lodgings. Also signed on is Stan Howes from Albion for 800 grand, who is said to be a great player but a bit potty. It's more than that. He's a big head who wants to make himself look good, and he instant clashes with Jorge thanks to the kid's ever-increasing skills. Jorge's a regular in the youth side, He also gets in the reserves at times, and he gets a first-team chance when a few players are injured before the League Cup semi-finals, and a Manton County side, half full of reserves, somehow get to the final. But the manager knows his first-choice players may be fit in time for the final, so he decides to stick to a winning side, and they actually win the trophy at Wembley. Now, this comic strip always showed Jorge's closeness with his family, which is something that I liked. Earlier in the season, he's given a present of a paid phone call to his parents in Argentina. That would have been a big deal back in 1980. After the League Cup final win, he's given the gift of a trip home to Argentina. But when he arrives there, he finds out his parents' village has been destroyed, and they've been rehoused by a local football club. They've been rehoused, and then a local football club helps Jorge to find them. Jorge then asks Manton County if they will sponsor his parents and bring them over to the United Kingdom. I hope no Reform fans are listening to this. The club agrees, and in the final few frames, we see the family arriving, and then a flash forward to Jorge's 18th birthday when he finally signs full forms with the club. Now, it really is a touching ending to what turned out to be a pretty good story, and one I could easily see as a good premise for a film, perhaps an inspiration for the Goal film series 20-odd years ago. Final thing, there's no story in issue 208, probably because of Christmas mail issues.
Interesting.
So I'm going on to Daryl's Palace now, which Bygone will be pleased about. It's high up in my chart here.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the launch to the story, in fact. An outstanding start. For those who don't remember about it, Dan Wayne, a player at 4th Division Cranley City, tries to get a player manager job. With no experience, the only offer comes from Daryl's Palace, a non-league side to a bottom of Western League Division 2, with a battered ground, no money, and players who don't want to train or are uninspired to play. His only real ally is trainer or groundsman or dog's body Joe Pope, who's not afraid to use the whip to get the players into shape. Dan arrives before the last match of the season as they're due to take on top of the table Peverley United, and somehow they scrape a 2-2 draw. Dan then convinced the directors to get a loan to improve facilities, but to pay it back, they need to get a big crowd in for a glamour friendly. So as a friend of their boss, Dan organises a match with Argentinian side Santos, who already beaten North Vale and Everpool in their tour of England. A nice little crossover on Melchester verse names. The ground is packed and Palace cheered on to an unlikely 2-0 win. 2 new players come in, policeman Rocky Rockle and youngster Ernie Potts. The latter making a quick exit when he sees the former in uniform. With the first game on the new season underway and a match programme on sale for the first time, price 25p.
Oh, you could have told me. I didn't know that they did an issue for that one.
Amazing. The first one after how many years? I don't know. Potts scores the first goal, and Rockall knows he's seen Potts' celebrations somewhere before. Next one for me, the Marx Brothers. It is, isn't it? It is. There's a lot more to Daryl's Palace. It's so good. The Marx Brothers next.
This is brilliant.
Each story continues to go well with its strong storyline and outstanding artwork. But like The Safest Hands in Soccer, which I'll mention a bit later, I feel it needs more pages in each issue. The problem was one of the storyline elements was that the brothers were at different clubs at this stage. So the writers, whilst doing their best to keep 2 sets of stories going in 2 pages per week, it started to be a bit of a struggle. I imagine this was picked up on because at the end of the series, end of this season, Terry was transferred over to Kings Bay. So we start this season with the greatest crossover in the history of fiction, probably.
It is.
Yes.
Forget DC Comics' Crisis on Infinite Worlds when the Marx Brothers brings together a great Melchester Rovers guest side to face Terry Marx Stockbridge Town in a fundraising pre-season friendly match. Excuse me a moment. Lining up for Melchester were as follows: Gordon Stewart from The Safest Hands in Soccer, Dave Ellis, Kings Bay, Vic Guthrie, Roy of the Rovers, Johnny Dexter, The Hard Man, Duncan Mackay, Roy of the Rovers, Jeff Giles, Roy of the Rovers, Ian Turner, Kings Bay, Blackie Gray, Roy of the Rovers, Roy Race, Roy of the Rovers, Steve Marks, Kings Bay, and Kevin Mouse, Mighty Mouse. The match ended 4-3 to the Roy of the Rovers star side.
Think of that as a front three: Mouse, Roy, and Steve Marks.
I know. I think they actually portrayed it as a front four as well.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
yeah, they did. Yeah,
they
you're
did,
right.
I always had Blackie down as a midfielder, but he was
Yeah.
obviously a
Mighty,
forward originally.
Mighty Mark's race.
Yes.
Oh yeah. After that, for most of the season, the story mainly concentrated on Kingsbay, who signed 16-year-old Mickey Jordan. And a lot of the space is dedicated to how he makes his debut and is even kidnapped in true Roy of the Rovers style on a UEFA Cup trip to Germany in a case of mistaken identity. Much of the story in the latter part of the season, we do see some of Terry's exploits at Stockbridge Town as he looks to help them to get promotion from Division 4. He then signs for Kingsbay, fighting off Belgian club Racing Blue, and they need him at Kingsbay for next season when a defender's leaving the club. Kingsbay, despite Stockbridge finishing their season, still have the UEFA Cup semi-finals and final to go. I'm not sure why the UEFA Cup was delayed so long in the Roy of the Rovers universe, as the Kingsbay semi-final second leg win against Mannheim in Germany, as you pointed out before, Tangential, they seem to fly over London on the day of the royal wedding on Wednesday, the 29th of July. Of course, it ends up that Terry is needed after all, as a defender is injured. Terry picks up a knock in the UEFA Cup final second leg against Dutch club Spartadam. He plays on. Steve scores the equaliser on the way to Kingsbay winning the cup.
Just a couple of things there, Ian. Just that Mickey Jordan, the reason he became so prominent was because obviously he transferred from the Speed comic. So they were trying to keep any readers that moved over from Speed interested. So that's why it was such a big thing. And then also the Marx Brothers, when it actually started in the comic, it was in non-season, but they were in their season. So that's why it was always behind, if you see what I mean.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So it
must
was
be
trying to catch up.
a strike at the start of the season, put it all out of sync, I think, didn't it?
Yeah, but they also, the story, it was really weird, did start, I believe, in non-season, but they were doing the end of the season or vice versa. So
I think it's vice versa. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Yeah, but of course, when it was that royal wedding issue, they tried to get it, and I think they did.
Yeah, it's just shoehorned it in. Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, the next for me is the footballer who wouldn't stay dead. This carries on to be interesting, and the flashbacks to more than 80 years ago adds to its unique nature. Actually, the first professional player in the England side was a goalkeeper called James Forrest of Blackburn Rovers. That was in 1885. He received 50 pence. England players at that time got £200 or more, as in when it was printed. I learned that from this. Mel's trying to get into the school side. He's not rated that well by his school's football coach, but thanks to tips from his spiritual advisor Andy Steele, he's improving all the time. Despite an excellent Boxing Day match for his school, where Mel scores 5 goals, beating Andy's one-time Boxing Day record of 4, the teacher leaves him out for the cup game. So again, in a repeat of something that happened in Andy's life in the 1890s, the whole side refused to play, and the coach is then relieved of his duties. After doing well in a trial for the local county team, another thing that Andy did all those years ago, Mel goes to France with his school. He's not sure whether Andy is able to appear to him there, but eventually popped up, persuading Andy to continue in the game even if he was injured. The French had some rough tactics. Mel was scared for the next game. Andy then proved he could actually see into the future, warning Mel of danger in the next match. However, that obviously took a lot of psychic energy, copyright Rent-A-Ghost there, and he immediately disappeared after delivering the message. It ended up the warning wasn't for the match itself, it was due to a small plane crashing near to the ground.
Oh, God, yeah.
After being substituted at half-time, Mel helped to save the life of one of the passengers while the game was still going on.
Sorry, it's not funny.
Oh, no, it is
have some respect.
I know, but most people are just like kind of, I'll have an orange. But no, he's like, no, there's a plane crash over there. Give me a couple of minutes.
He's out. Okay, right, back to it. It's almost like Roy of the Rovers in the 1960s, which I'll go into in a later.
Yes. Yeah.
On to pre-season, and Mel, after being selected for an area trial to make up the numbers, he's given a lecture by Andy about his rebellious nature, comparing him to a player from the past. Mel agrees to knuckle down to his football and make the team on a regular basis. So yes, this is still Billy's Boots with a ghost. There's also even a book about Andy Steele, which Mel avidly reads while not visiting but when he's not being visited by Andy's ghost and being educated, along with readers about life in the 19th century. Also, in this one, we've got real life sides being mentioned, like Liverpool and Tottenham. Only a few fake ones, but they're far more into our world in this. In this story, probably because it's a bit of education all the way.
Yeah.
Next one for me, the safest hands in soccer. This story set in 1979 throughout this 1980 to 81 season of comics. Go to previous pods if you want to know why. We joined the saga in an issue dated 20th of September 1980 with the FA Cup semi-final from 18 months earlier. Gordon injures his leg in the match, which they lose, and plays on to the bitter end. I've still got my hands intact, he said. What a trooper you are, Gordon. AC Severino of Milan offer $2 million for him, and if he accepts, it'll make him the highest paid British signing in history. However, he turns them down as he wants to lead Tynefield to promotion. If they win their last 6, they're champs of Division 2. Gordon gets advice again from Frank Stringer. They continue to do well, and they win the final game of the season 4-3 to take the 78 to 79 Division 2 title in the issue dated 28th of February 1981. A new season awaits, robbers trying to steal Gordon's trophies. It turns out to be Billy Kramer, who is, of course...
What?
Billy Kramer?
Billy Kramer and the Dakotas. Billy J. Kramer.
Billy J. Kramer.
He used to be a singer, didn't he? Yeah. Sorry, go on, carry on.
He's a talented, of course, he's a talented footballer down on his luck, of course. And then Tynefield City, they sign him. Gordon gets him off the charges. His mum puts him up as Antonio Valdez has moved out. Tynefield start poorly in the first division, losing their first game 3-0 at Carford City. After starting poorly after taking just 1 point, in 6 games, Billy Kramer's then drafted into the first team, as is another of Gordon's finds, a local lad, Jeremy Swift, who I think is the first non-white player we see outside the Roy of the Rovers strip, apart from the football. But I wouldn't call him a player. He's not.
Probably right.
Yeah. A derby win against Tynecastle follows, as does a new signing in Colin Sharp, who arrives with his pet dog. He's stolen by villains, but thanks to Billy's contacts and Gordon's ingenuity, the pet is retrieved. 1979 is still to be continued in some point in August, September 1981. Hardman is next. With Johnny Dexter being dumped by his American fling. And for those YouTube viewers, you can see him being dumped by his American fling very harshly on screen. Danefield's United season can begin. Victor Boscovich, in his own inimitable style, demands that the team win everything. But it's not as easy as all that. Despite the manager's threats to sack them, transfer them, or even kill himself, which he nearly does at one point as he mixes up a fake gun for a real one. Kids, guns are wrong. That also goes to Americans. Guns are wrong, okay?
All people, guns are wrong,
all
aren't they,
people,
really?
but especially Americans.
Yeah. Rubbish tribute act.
The initial concentration was on the European Cup Winners' Cup. You know, when I was presenting a radio show, I only gave that up recently. I did it with a couple of 18, 19-year-olds at times, and I talked about the European Cup Winners' Cup. They'd never heard of it. They thought it was the funniest name in history. European Cup Winners' Cup.
It is really, when you think about it, yeah.
But it's just used to it for us, people like
yeah.
But yeah, against FC Brahagen, a part-time team who hold them to a 1-1 draw in Denmark, they win 17-0 at home to create a competition record. I think they might have beaten Cardiff City in that one. Because I
think Barry Tomlinson was on drugs, wasn't he, for about 10 years?
Oh yeah, I think he was. The third round saw a clash with Italian side Cannizaro and the world's best player Alberto Danavetti, who promises to score 2 goals in each leg. But in the second leg, one's an own goal, and the match goes to the first ever shootout in Roy of the Rovers comic, which Danefield lost. So it was up to Danefield to save their season by winning the league. All they had to do in the last day of the season, which was played after Melchester's final game, was to beat Walford by more goals than Liverpool beat Oldfield by, with both games being played at the same time. Danefield do it with a final kick to win 4-0. Now, Okay, we got one of the crazy things now. History 245 was devoted to the trophy presentation as absurdity went to a maximum level. Yes, even more than Victor's memory loss from a month or so earlier. Danefield were personally congratulated not only by Roy Race, he mentioned they were already down, you see, so that explains that they played at different times of the season. He attended the match. Also, they were congratulated by comic editors Barry Tomlinson and Ian Vosper, and also artist Doug Maxted, who did a self-portrait of himself. Victor declared that Danefield were in the end going to take over the universe, and that better be told to the green thing that edits 2000 AD. Now, the mighty Tharg was actually monitoring all of this, and he made a floodlight bulb almost fall on Victor to teach him a lesson. Then there was the presentation itself, and Danefield realised the trophy had actually gone to Everpool. So in a scene that was, I'd say reminiscent, because it happened way before, so wrong choice of words there, a scene that was replicated what actually happened in real life in 2015, where a helicopter hovered between Leeds and Castleford in the men's Super League for the league leaders' shield. You actually didn't know who was going to win. They actually had it in a helicopter going somewhere in Yorkshire. But in this one, that helicopter actually landed. In this one, the copter brought it down, and the championship trophy arrived by air and was lifted by Johnny as it got near to the pitch on a rope. One final thing to point out: in one game, Johnny injured his head while stopping a goal. He's obviously concussed, and in these days, he'd fail an HIA and not be allowed to train for a week or more. But back then, as one former rugby league player, Fatty Vortin, once said, if you didn't play on, you'd be considered weak.
And that season finished in July as well, didn't it? Late July as well.
Yeah,
I think,
it finished late.
That was. It was just
very
before.
late.
I think the next part might have been the royal wedding.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're probably right.
Brilliant.
Love that on the trophy, just because of that, and obviously it did happen in real life in the Football League trophy. And when they did the Premier League, you are aware that there are in fact 2 Premier League trophies.
That's right. Yeah.
So they can be at different grounds if needed on the final day of the season.
Yeah. Oh, that just spoils it now, doesn't it? Yeah. Next for me is Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse is treating his dual role as player for Tottenham Rovers and player coach at St Victor's Hospital very seriously. Even during a live TV match with Tottenham, he's shouting training instructions to the St Victor's players, and he's pretending that he can hear them back. Getting the St Victor's players to train turns out to be a bit of a chore, even when they're threatened with the sack or being transferred to the hotel's boxing team. So Mouse appoints Mad Annie as the side's new coach. But the players dislike her regime so much they throw the next game in order to get her fired by Dr. Mender. As a revenge, Mouse is rehoused at the hospital as Mad Annie moves into an old shed, but he gets that turned into a nice cottage, which further annoys her. Mouse eventually wins the Player of the Year trophy with Tottenham, which I hope we see more of soon. And he helped St Victor's to win the Dr. Mender Cup, a special one, or the Mender Cup, should I say, a special one-off played at Tottenham Stadium. As a reward, Dr. Mendes sends the St Victor side on a foreign tour, going on a charter flight to the South Pacific, where they play matches on 3 islands: Ucky Mucky, Volcano Island, and Ummy Jummy. It's on the latter where Mouse really gets into trouble, where he's forced to do a cliff walk, not realizing it involves walking a pole and jumping into the sea. Fortunately, Mouse accomplishes it and he becomes a national hero. So finally, for me, like I say, every one of these stories is brilliant. So it's just, for me to rank them, it's just
it's peak times.
But Tommy's Troubles lasts for me because the strip needed new villains. I never got it, but it needed new villains. Excuse me a moment. What started off as Waller and Swate, who I'm sure were later reincarnated as Lance and Martin in Home and Away, being defensive about their school rugger side and not wanting soccer to come in, is now descended to them becoming bigger dicks every season. Tommy beats Waller at cross country despite being thrown off course by Swate, and Tubby loses patience eventually when they pinch his football he received for Christmas, and Waller ends up with a black eye.
Oh, good old Tubby.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Barnes United do well in the cup, but authorities decide that as the tie has gone to a second replay, one game must be played in the morning and the next round must be played at a different ground in the afternoon. I think we're still a bit too early for Sunday football, aren't we, in certain countries? But they win, but as if none of their parents give a monkeys about their kids' sport, the lads have to catch a bus, with Waller and Swaite's rugger side filling it before them so they're unable to get on. However, Barnes United still get to their destination and, despite being exhausted from their match a couple of hours before, win their second game in a day. But sadly, they lose in the final. Then they lose their ground.
No, surely not, Ian. Surely not.
Well, that was something I wasn't expecting.
Oh, I know, because the owner wants to sell the field. So after coming across a disused tennis courts, as you do, they convinced the council to let them take it over. But being near a river, the ground is susceptible to flooding. Oh, and that's it. There we go.
So the tennis clubs never bothered about the tennis courts flooding, but it's an issue now.
Maybe that's probably why they deserted it.
Yeah, exactly.
In a later one, they want it back again, but I think they don't, and I can't remember now.
We used to play a lot of football on the bowling greens.
Yeah.
Oh God.
We used to play.
Great
We used to
pitches.
play. We used to play football on the hard tennis courts at school during lunch break.
Oh, yeah, those were the days.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Superb.
Thank you very much, Ian. I'm always blown away by all the hard work all of you put into your sections. It's very much appreciated.
Thanks, Carl.
I know the listeners really enjoy it. So, should we move on to the final section of this podcast? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this. Get your Richter scales handy, listeners.
Yeah.
To measure the earthquake measuring. I have no idea what I'm talking about. When Tangent jumps up and down in excitement with the next episode of The Champ. We Are United story.
Thank you, Goal. Well, as you said, so the next instalment, but just a quick reminder, we left issue 11 with United drawing a vital promotion clash with Barton. Joe Pearson had brought in young defender John Regan, who scored an own goal in the dying seconds for United to lose 2 vital points against the promotion rivals. With just 3 games to go, United are fourth, a point off promotion. The footnote in last week's comic, only 3 games to go, lads. The pace is really hotting up. And next week, Joe Pearson gets an ultimatum from the directors. If we lose at Rexfield, you get the sack. Wow. So on to this week's edition, number 12, 12th of May, 1984. The cover is, in fact, the story of Pendragon, one of the other stories in Champ and Spike, of course, as it was at that time. But at the bottom of the page, there's a news headline, "Win or be sacked. Threat to United boss." And when you turn the page, it is amazing drama, I can tell you. But before I get to that, I'm going to concentrate on the left-hand column. And to the side of the story panels, we actually see the league table. So topping the table is every team's played 39 games. Shefton on 87 points, Barton on 83, Chelbridge on 80, United on 79, then Portland 74 and Newsham 72. So you can see it's really tight there with just these 3 games to go. Beneath, though, we see this week's opposition, and on Wednesday the 2nd of May, away to Rexfield. It's interesting, though, because the writers are getting carried away here, as there is no information on Rexfield. It is just a rallying cry. We need a United victory. Attack is the order of the day. The whole United team could press forward, secure in the knowledge that they have a capable of stopping anything Rexfield can throw at him in the goal. And there's 2 games for United. Charlie Ironbar has only lost 1 goal, and that was an own goal from beating Ironbar from obviously John Regan. Just thinking there, Ian, in your section on the Marx brothers, you mentioned Mickey Jordan. Really interesting, because of course Charlie Ironbar has come from Spike, so they're really kind of using him and making sure he's a character. So again, anybody who didn't get the Champ comic are seeing one of their stars featuring quite heavily in Champ. So then the next game that United, they're at home to Shefton, the team topping the table, on Saturday the 5th of May. This could be the game that decides whether we go up to the first division. Currently, the Shefton will be going flat out for victory. That would almost ensure them going up as champions. We are warned about Shefton's dynamic duo, Kenny Hurry and Frank Moran. Sorry, Kevin Moran, Manchester United player. Dynamic duo, Kenny Hurry and Frank Moran. This season, the two prolific marksmen have notched 53 league goals between them. A stunning total. With United committed to 100% to attack, this game could produce a few goals. Let's hope United score one more than Shefton. Well, as I said, though, I'm now going to concentrate on the dramatic scenes on this first page in the panels. And as we look, we're informed at the top of the page, it's Tuesday, the 1st of May in the United boardroom. And quite prominent on the panel, we see the team list against Wrexfield. It's enlarged. 1, Charlie Barr. 2, Brian Stokes. 4, Benny Granger. 5, John Regan. But John Regan is circled with 2 question marks and in bold writing, nonsense, and underlined, out is underlined. Then number 5, Tug Wilson. 6, Duncan Frazier. Fred Rimmy, captain. 10, Alex Jones. 7, Terry Evans. 9, Willie Barnes. 11, Josh T. And Tim Stevens on the bench. Back to that panel, we can see the chairman. He's throwing the team sheet over his desk at the feet of Joe Pearson. You must be crazy, Pearson, if this is your idea of our best team. Another director piping in. It's not good enough. Pearson responding, I'm sorry, I don't understand what you mean. We see Joe bending down to pick up his team sheet. The chairman demanding, make out a fresh team list. Reagan's out. He cost us 2 points last week with an own goal. Pearson, sorry, sir, I won't do it. Regan stays in the team. I picked the team, not the United board. We see 2 of the board members now. They're standing as Pearson leaves the boardroom. If Regan plays and United lose, you'll answer for it, Pearson. The other one pipes up. Yes, you'll answer with your job, Pearson. We see Pearson actually looking stern-faced and still you can see grit in his eyes and his thought bubble. Phew, I must say it's terrific to have the full backing of my board. Well, what 3 panels on the opening page. We really do. Bill, it's just how vital it is for the club to get promotion. The board obviously feeling the pressure and lashing out at Pearson, but Pearson showing us why he's becoming our favourite manager as readers and United fans. Such a strong character in the face of adversity. Well, as I say, I love that actually living back that first page of the story. So as Pearson gets outside the boardroom, he's met by first team coach Andy Bates. He's waiting. Did they give you a hard time? Pearson, I love this. Joe Pearson. He just calmly, nothing I couldn't handle, Andy. Get the team sheet time typed out and on the notice board. And now we see the United players on the training ground and they're practicing free kicks with Terry Evans hitting the post on a couple of times and scoring one. As they're lining up, though, Pearson takes Josh Cupperty to the side and says, Terry doesn't have much of a target to aim at, Josh. I want you to follow up every shot, okay? T nods. And in the next panel, we see Josh firing from the rebounded effort. Evans striking the post and Josh just firing it past Charlie Ironbar. Now, Joe Pearson's in the physio room. He's checking on reserve keeper John Clements, who says he can move his fingers, but he will be out for a few weeks. And Larry Watson still has the strapping on his knee and hopes to be doing light training next week at the moment. At that moment, though, can you believe suddenly Andy Bates appears with Terry Evans and Terry Evans is hunched over and he's bringing him to the physio bench. Joe Pearson, what's happened? Evans has slipped into the advertising hoardings and hurt himself. Mind you, I do love Andy Bates. He's got his hands on Evans's knee and he's saying it doesn't feel like much, but Evans is telling him that it hurts. Joe Pearson, though, make sure he's ready for tomorrow. Stern management again.
Yeah, and it's to be ready for that big trip to the dog track stadium.
Exactly. And then again, we get another heading. It's Wednesday, the 2nd of May, Wrexfield v United, and heavy early pressure. And we see Charlie Ironbar is punching clear what looks to be under pressure from 2 Wrexfield forwards. Moments later, he's tipping a fantastic shot over the crossbar. Now we see him catching another Wrexfield effort. Crikey, we go to the bench and there's Joe Pearson. He's saying if it hadn't have been for Ironbar, we'd be 3 down by now. It's all Rexfield, but we see John Regan heading clear. That's the reason Pearson has brought him into the starting lineup. Even Willie Barnes is having to drop deep to help out the defence. The directors are not concerned, although they comment that Regan hasn't scored an own goal. So that's showing the directors they're really back in the team. Yeah, exactly. Well, the only thing that we can say is he hasn't scored an own goal. Captain Fred Rimmy is yelling at Duncan Fraser and Alex Hedgehog-Jones to get a grip of the midfield. And, well, it ends 0-0. But that first half, it's all been Rexfield. We joined Joe Pearson for his team talk in the dressing room here. What's the story here? Don't you want to win this game? You haven't put any pressure on Rexfield's defence yet. And you two, Terry, Josh, I haven't even seen you two yet. Evans with the hump. Not much I can do if I don't get the ball. Well, the second half. And once again, it's all Rexfield on the attack. And a forward goes just passes Tuck Wilson. He's through on goal. Just Ironbar to beat. It's a powerful shot. Oh, Charlie Ironbar. Great save. But he's only parried it out. It's at the foot of a Rexfield's forward. It's got a fantastic tackle. I don't know where he came from. John Regan there, a brilliant tackle. That was sure to be a goal for Rexfield.
2-footed though,
Oh,
2-footed.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, but both feet on the ball.
It's 84, it's fine, isn't it?
Both feet on the ball when we're in 1984. You could do that back then, I can tell you. That was a fantastic
dance floor in
save.
84 as well. Yeah.
Saved a certain goal there. I must admit, well, that's woken up the United players, and I can see them. They're getting a foothold in this game now. Suddenly now we see the ball. It's moved on to Alex Hedgehog-Jones into the midfield. He passes it on. It's a fantastic flick on by Willie Barnes to Evans. Oh, first time volley goal! United, yes, that's what we needed. The crowd are leaping. There's only one Terry Evans. It's 1-0 to United in this vital fixture. Oh, brilliant. Come on, this is a big goal in this push for promotion. United now, they're definitely in control of this match, and they're playing well, and they hold on for the vital win. On the full-time whistle, we see Andy Bates. Well, boss, we did it just. And Pearson, the important thing is the 3 points, Andy. We needed them badly. Whoa. Well, wow. I tell you, fantastic, because Rexfield, it was all Rexfield in that first half. But United have turned that around, and a fantastic goal from Terry Evans, the Welsh wizard, their first time hit. So now we move on. It's Thursday afternoon, and after training, Joe Pearson tells the team that after their last league match next Friday, yes, we're that close to the end of the season, they will be flying out to France to take part in an inter-club challenge. This creates banter amongst the players. Fred joking that Tug can't go because he won't be allowed back in the country, and he also says that Hedgehog says that he can't speak French, and Fred Rimmy reminds him that he can't speak English, to which Hedgehog pushes Fred Rimmy into the team bath. So it's all smiles in the training ground for the United players. Before the next match, though, we're back into the off-field activities. Big Duncan Fraser, he's off down to London where his younger brother Jimmy is. Benny Granger telling Big Dunk that he'd better be back in time for training tomorrow. Jimmy has got a trial for Alliance side Ashley Rovers. Duncan telling Jimmy to call his mum so she knows that he's okay and to go home after the trial. Of course, Jimmy is hopeful he won't have to after a successful trial. So that story, remember, Jimmy had run away from home and Big Duncan trying to get him back home. Now we see Charlie Ironbar purchasing some land for his scrap metal business. He's happy he can move all his stuff down from Derby and get to work. I find this quite interesting because remember, he's actually only on loan, but obviously Charlie showing us that he's hoping to make it a permanent deal, and he's putting up a fence with a sign that a metal merchant, scrap metal merchant, and there's an elderly couple come past and they're not very happy. We're not having the tone of the neighbourhood, Lois. It's quite disgusting. I can just imagine the filth and noise. Charlie tries to reassure them, but he is told to get away and that they are going to the council. It is a residential area, not a slum. We see Charlie leaning against the wall, thought bubble. I'd move, but the sites aren't easy to find. Oh, well, maybe they'll turn out to be friendly people once I get to know them. Well, I've got to say, you give old Charlie, what a nice bloke he is. I'm not sure I'd be thinking that about that old couple. And, well, as we know, that's the first half of the United story. On the foot of the page, turn to page 24, where the football action begins again and where there's big trouble in store for Duncan Fraser. So we swiftly turn these pages, and we're on the training pitch, and it's Larry Watson. He's out of his bandage and he will start light training. Terry Evans says that his knee's okay. Well, it certainly showed to be okay on that fantastic goal against Rexfield. Benny Granger marks that so he's horse meat when Evans says that his knee's okay, and Evans is grabbing Granger. You have too much to say for my liking, Granger. I was only joking. In the background, we see Josh Cupperteeth juggling the ball, and he tells Terry to leave Benny alone. Terry lets Granger go immediately, and we see Granger's thought bubble. Bit chicken there, Terry. Josh ain't as soft as me, and you know it. Do like that. Terry not wanting to mess with Josh T. And then we suddenly now we're at Tim Stevens' house. If you remember, the defender being dropped, living with his aunt and his sister Mary, and his aunt. He's telling her that although he's going away for 6 weeks this French trip, but he makes sure that funds are available. But she says, she shows concerns in saying that his sister Mary will be home from university and the place isn't good enough. Stevens, a bit sharp tongue, he's a bit miffed. It's been good enough for me the last 5 years. His aunt says she meant that Mary and her friends, but Stevens says, well, they're just going to have to make do for Mary and her friends. There's a lot going off the field for these players. Now we see Terry Evans, if you remember, he's bought a big house and his girlfriend's over visiting Melissa. And she's asking Terry if she can join him in France. And he says after he's played for Wales, he will see how much money he has after his new contract is fixed. If you remember, Terry's out of contract. And now we're back in the boardroom and Joe Pearson is once more in front of an angry board. This time it's about that contract for Evans. And you see the chairman. He wants £700 a week, but that's 450 more than he's getting just now. Another board member. It's preposterous. The board asking Pearson for his thoughts, and Joe calmly, I feel he's worth what he's asking. He's an international now, plus he is United's top scorer. I say pay him what he asks. The chairman, maybe, but remember, we've had trouble with highly paid players before. That's how we got into this financial mess. But Pearson walks away then, and as he gets to the door, a board member says, but I will tell you what, Joe, we'll give the whole staff an increase if we get promotion. And I love this from Joe Pearson. He turns round and he's got a lovely smile on his face. Sounds fair enough to me. Oh, and one other thing. It'll be the same team tomorrow. John Regan keeps his place. A smiling Pearson response. His character grows with every panel and every story, I tell you.
The artwork, it looks really good.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
The depth to it as well.
Mm-hmm. Was it Mike White, this one?
I'm not 100% certain actually on this one, but yeah. So we're at the United dressing room, but before that we've got the team lineup, and it's Charlie Barr at number 1, Brian Stokes 2, Benny Granger 4, John Regan 5, Tug Wilson 3, Duncan Frazier 6, Fred Rimmy 8, and obviously with the captain's armband. And then we've got Alex Jones 10, Terry Evans 7, Willie Barnes 9, Josh T 11, and Tim Stevens is the sub. And it's the United dressing room at the Mill, and it's 2:50 p.m. we're informed, and we see Joe there standing before the players are about to go out, and they're all huddled around. I'll be looking for a definite improvement on Wednesday's performance, but Shefton aren't going to make it easy. They've already been promoted, but they'll be determined to go up as champions. Wow. So we're to the match and we kick off. And right from kickoff, he said, I've got to say, this is good a start for United. It's a different looking United. It's strong and determined. And the whole crowd is cheering them on. And we see Hedgehog Jones, he's bursting and bustling through the midfield, avoiding challenges. And it's a great pass on to Terry Evans on the edge of the box. Oh, he's done it again. Goal! What a fantastic shot and finish from Evans. It's a first-time strike from the Welsh Wizard. A Terry Evans special. 1-0 United. What a fantastic start to this very vital promotion clash. Well, the match moves on, and it's 15 minutes later. It's been all United, and United have forced a free kick. So now can they produce the goods from the training ground? Granger runs up to steps up. Oh, it's a nice back heel. Evans. Oh. What a shot! It's hit the post, but goal! It's 2-0 United. Josh T following up like his manager told him to. Heads it into the net.
Great
and United
finish.
Wow, this is a fantastic against top of the table, remember? Top of the table, Shefton. It's 2-0. Oh, this is fantastic. And United, it's a completely dominating performance here. And the match is moving on. And we're getting close to the full-time whistle. What a performance from United. They're back on the attack. This time, Evans passes inside. Willie Barnes, yes! Barnes fires home. It's 3-0 United. That must secure the points. What a result for the players. What a result for the club. God, this promotion push, I tell you, it's on, everybody. It's on. Well, the final whistle's gone and the players leave the field. But big Duncan Frazier, he's not looking too happy. And Benny Granger's telling him to cheer up. But Dunk is thinking about his brother Jimmy, and actually we now flash to Jimmy's trial, and it's the end of the match, and he's being told by the Ashley Rovers manager that doesn't think that Jimmy's good enough. In fact, that he's definitely not in the class of his brother. We now see Jimmy in the dressing room. This is a rotten, stinking club anyway. That stupid manager bloke doesn't know a footballer when he sees one. I wouldn't want to play here if it was the last place on earth. And can you believe that? He's picked up a chair and he's thrown it through a window. This young Jimmy Fraser, he's a bit of a hothead.
Yeah.
Well, do you know something? It's left there. We'll probably have to pick up this story next week. But now we're back. We're back with Joe Pearson. And there he is. He's in front of the table and he's telling his players that Chelbridge have also won. So United, with a game to go, they're still a point behind. And they need to win their last game. And, of course, Chelbridge have to drop points. And in the last panel, we see Tug Wilson. So he's there. Our last game's a hard one against Cardia. Chelbridge are at home to relegated Sittingford. They're bound to win. And if they do, we're stuck in the second division. And as always, we get the footnote. 1 game to go. Can we do it? Book your stand seat now by ordering next week's champ from your newsagents. But before I sign off, if you remember, we've got the player profiles, and on the back page this week, it is number 4, and of course it's Terry Evans. And a couple of highlights, I thought. Terry Evans is 19 here in 1984. He was signed by United at 14. His favourite other club is Spurs. His biggest thrill, he says, is still yet to come because it's scoring for Wales. And his ambition is to play for Wales in the World Cup final. In the text about Terry Evans, though, we see that the rise, it says here, the sudden rise has taken United supporters by surprise. And they are wondering how ex-manager John Bland could have left such a priceless goal-scoring asset languishing in the reserves when the first team was struggling for goals. I think a question that we've all been asking ourselves, be quite honest on that one. With his contract due to run out at the end of the season, though, can United fans look forward to seeing much more of the live wire Evans in action? And Terry Evans' response, let's just say I'm keeping my options open, but one thing's for sure, I'll be looking for a big rise in wages, and I don't know if United can afford it. Wow, troubling there. But let's just say that I can tell you a 13-year-old Paul Richardson wasn't known as the Tangential One then, but he was beside himself, having to wait a week to see if United can get over the line, both nervous and excited. Can United beat Cardia, and will Chelbridge slip up? Well, we've all got to wait for a couple of pods, I think, to find out.
Against the mighty Cardiff City, I tell you, it would have been a tough one. But I think, leaving Terry out the side, I think John Bland must have had some dodgy dealings with Late Night Lyle to keep him in the side over Terry.
Well, when you think of, I mean, obviously the club sold them off, but when you see some of these young players that have come through from the reserves, what was John Bland doing? You've got Benny Granger, Terry Evans himself, Josh Cupperty, Big Dunk Frazier. Yeah, unbelievable stuff.
Amazing. Fantastic. Wonderful as always. Brilliant work, the Tangential One. And I can't wait to find out, even though I know what happens. I can't wait to find out.
Don't spoil it for me because I haven't got a clue.
No, I know. Well, they get relegated to the conference.
No, that's you're getting confused with Ashley Rovers.
Oh, fair enough. Brilliant work. Thank you. Okay. So, brilliant sections today, gentlemen. I'm going to move on to something else now. First of all, if you want to get in touch with us, you can find us in all the usual socials. I'm not going to repeat them. You know where they are, regular listeners. So we'll mention them again in a couple of episodes' time, but we love to hear from you, so that's great. I'm going to throw back to Mute Button Matt now, because he's going to let us know of some upcoming episodes and news of something special for YouTube.
Yeah, thank you very much, Podfather. Yes, so next show is going to be another one of our special shows. You know, a special guest. It's going to be a Christmas edition with the great, legendary Barry Tomlinson. He's back. Whether it be bearded like
that now.
Not enough.
Run out, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe
It doesn't matter. It's not enough. Bring him back every pod.
Exactly. Whether he'll be brilliant show. Whether it be resplendent in beard and Santa hat, I don't know. But I'll be disappointed if he's not. But yeah, so that's going to be in the next one coming up in a couple of weeks' time. And also, yeah, there's a special episode which is live now on YouTube as we speak. It was recorded last week where a few of us went away for a comic collectors weekend. So it's Collectors Corner on tour. So it's just a short 20-minute video. So yeah, go and check it out on YouTube, where you see how successful our visit was to a couple of secondhand bookshops last weekend. So yeah, it's a very special show. And
just to be clear for a few of the listeners that still just listen, I do get feedback from a couple of you. Thank you very much. That isn't going to be a published audio episode. It's just a special bit on YouTube, 20 minutes, like he said. Do have a look. Yeah, comic corner on tour. Woohoo!
Woohoo! Yeah, cheers, Carl.
Excellent. No worries. And we will have some interesting news coming up, won't we? For January.
Lots of exciting things. Yeah, we're planning, scheming.
Great news.
Yeah. We're bargaining with other people. Lots of business negotiations going on behind the scenes.
And the one after the special, is there one? Well, I know the answer to this. I'm asking as a listener and a viewer. Is there one before the new year?
Yes, yeah, we're planning to do one round about the weekend of the 28th of December. So there's a couple coming up. So 7th of December for the Christmas special, and then 28th of December will be the last one this year.
Excellent. I'm sadly not with you for the 7th. Unfortunately, I've got to work, so I'll miss you guys. But I hopefully will be back for that final one of the year.
Excellent.
Right. Shall we do the goodbyes?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your passion, enthusiasm, and love there, gentlemen. Let's start with Mute Button Matt. How did you think the episode went? And time for your goodbyes.
I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to when we have maybe in a couple of episodes' time where Bygone can finish off the 1988 Winter Special. It's nice to he's moved on from the summer to the winter specials. Nice Christmassy scenes. It's like we don't have any snow. Well, it's nice to have a bit of snow in it, but not too much. Another fantastic section from the Golden Time Traveller himself. This might be the last time we speak to you this year, because you're off to the Ashes.
I am, yes. I can't make the next one. That's because I'm working when we're recording the podcast, but I will still be in the country then. I'll be off to the Ashes, and I have tickets to days 1, 3, and 4, so hopefully there will be a third day for me to go to.
Oh, blimey, yeah, it's not.
I was going to say, see you in a week's time, then. Ian.
Yeah, exactly. Mate, I'm still going out there. Believe me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm sure the weather
by that time.
The weather would be lovely, and and Tangent being Tangent. What more do you want, eh? Superb stuff. Yeah, that's been a great goal. Thank you. Brilliantly hosted, of course, by yourself.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I've got a theme tune for Ian's trip.
Go on then.
Golden in a land down under.
Good stuff. Yeah. Almost like the original.
Copyright Aussie Lee theme tune there.
Yes.
Over to you then, Ian. Your goodbyes and your thoughts.
Yeah, well, great to be back again. Thanks everyone for listening, and like I said, I'll look forward to doing the next part in the new year, and hopefully the safest science in soccer will eventually get out of 1979.
Well, you're a time traveler like yourself. I mean, I'm sure you see what you can do about that.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was just going to say,
go on.
no, only Ian can shoehorn Doctor Who into
Yes.
Roy of the Rovers.
Yeah, true.
Oh,
true,
yeah,
true.
definitely. It's going to be even worse when we get to Goalkeeper, but that is really going to be for another episode. It will need a special of its own.
Ah, mate, you're the master. So yeah,
and you will obey me.
On to, do you know what? It's Aya. Let's have your goodbyes, please, and your thoughts on the episode, please. Bygone Berrigan.
Yeah, another really enjoyable episode. I'm going to look forward to the winter specials that are coming up, but I really again enjoyed Ian's feature reviewing the year of Roy of the Rovers, and I enjoyed Tangential One's champ story, which is getting really exciting, and it does keep me on the edge of the seat because I've not read through these stories. So again, like most of the listeners, I do not know what's coming, so it's really exciting. So yeah, again, a really enjoyable episode, and again, it's going back what Mute Button Matt went through the socials as well. Please do keep your comments and your feedback coming because we do enjoy getting the comments and feedback and reading them back. So yeah, that's it.
Excellent. I can give you a spoiler, Bygone. Are you ready?
Go on.
I'm in issue 32.
Oh,
What?
God. Oh, dear. Are you really? Because I've never heard that before.
Well, I don't
I
know.
found out that Commando, there's 4 issues a month. 2 of them are reprints.
What you're saying? Sorry, is he in episode 32 and he's going commando?
Oh, and we've just lost all our listeners and definitely the YouTube viewers.
They're all switching off now, aren't they?
Can I also say about Tangent's piece? It's great listening to in the car on a Saturday afternoon, and you feel like you're listening to an actual football commentary then.
Cheers, Ian. Thank you.
I'm a bit worried there. We went from going commando to Tangent's piece. Weird.
Only you can make that link, Gol.
Hey, you know, I try to be funny. Doesn't work. Right, let's go over to the final. Well, not the final goodbye because I forgot myself again. But the penultimate goodbye. It's over to the Tangential One.
Well, it's great to have you back in the hot seat, Podfather, and back on board as well after a little break. So that's always fun. Mute Button with his Melvin's musings, and as Bygone said, great to hear from everybody. And a couple of new names in there. Nice to hear from the Striker World guys, Terence Angus, and everybody. Yeah. Got to say, Bygone, I really found the Winter Special interesting. Sorry to the listeners, but obviously on the YouTube. But it's really interesting to see the stories in black and white, but all, real colour features on all the real football stuff. It's just such a shame that the stories aren't the same. But something for us to look forward to when you do a deep dive in the stories. And of course, Ian unlocking the Roy of the Rovers world. So many things to discuss. We just haven't got enough time.
Oh, yeah.
But loving every second of it. And yeah, as you can tell, I'm like a pressure cooker. I think I'm ready to blow. 1 game to go. United, can they do it? Can they get over the line? Can't wait to find out.
Pressure cooker. When they got the second goal, you nearly ended up on the bloody moon. Anyway. Thank you very much to all of you. Always enjoyable. And finally, from myself, just a bit of feedback. Brilliant from the tangent. Brilliant from the Tangential One. That's easy for me to say. Bygone Berrigan, absolute class and mastery. Also, Ian Golden, top draw stuff. And Mute Button Matt. I mean, when it comes to the social media feedback, he is the champione. All that's left for me to say is we've got the special coming up next episode. Look forward to that. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back soon. It's goodbye from the team here. Goodbye. Well, hang on. Before we go, why is Tangent laughing?
Because I'm waiting for Bygone to put his hands up and do these waves. That's why. It cracks me up every pod. That's just...
Okay, I'll give him time to do it. Here we go. So it's a goodbye from everyone here. Go on and do it. Hiya.
See ya.
We look forward to the next episode. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.